What is up, guys? 301 here, and welcome to my anime review for Detective Conan, episode 865, The Foul-Mouthed Myna Bird. Let's do this. The victim, Kobiko Naoko. The suspects, Yahagi Emi. The nephew, Sayama Yoto. The clues, flower pot, the wheelchair, the basement door, the Myna bird, the red yarn. Alright guys, so right off the back, I can tell you this was not canon material. This was a filler episode, and quite a good filler episode at that. It's been quite a while since we got a really good, difficult mystery to solve within one episode. And overall, this mystery was solid, but the clues were still there. Unfortunately, I didn't solve it before Conan shared it and basically told us how everything kind of played out. But after you hear it all makes sense. Anyway, let's get into it. The victim's name was Kokubo Naoko. She was an elderly woman who was basically stuck in a wheelchair, and she was a former children's writer. And she became quite well known as a children's writer until a scandal happened where her mentor basically, as the story goes, plagiarized her work, is what we assume, but the media jumped on his side and said that she plagiarized him. And that she basically stopped writing from there. Alright, so basically how the episode starts, it starts with Conan, Michiko, and Genta in a park playing a bit of soccer, and the nephew of our victim arriving. I don't believe we ever actually get his name. He's always referred to as the nephew. And basically he comes in, he walks into the house, we hear him scream, and then he runs out and gets the kids to call the cops. And then we have our intro sequence, yada yada yada. Anyway, we end up going on, and then eventually we meet the two other suspects. Yahagi Emi, the maid, and Sayama Yotaro. Alright, a bookseller that sold her a forgery. Right? And our victim was quite unhappy with him because she found out it was a forgery and she wanted her money back, and there was a big argument. Alright, the major clues that we got were the flower pot, where the flower pot was shown, because we saw it multiple times. It was shown in a specific place. It was like, alright, why is that relevant? And we kind of find out a little bit later once we find out how everything went down. The wheelchair, where the wheelchair was lying, and the basement. This is kind of allows us to figure out how our culprit did manage to pull off the murder. And obviously, of course, the Myna bird, right? So we end up finding out that Morty has found 9, the foul-mouthed Myna bird. Basically, he just spits insult after insult after insult because our victim believed that she didn't really trust anyone and that compliments were fake and that insults were the only true truth-telling things that humans could say. Basically, that was the whole thing, and the Myna bird was really good. The Myna bird kind of gave us a few little hints in the fact that one part there was a red piece of yarn or string attached to it. We saw that when we saw it with Morty, and he ended up getting away. And then we also, and that red string or the red piece of yarn is very prevalent. That's another big clue as to who was behind. Obviously, if you guys have seen the episode, you know who's behind. But for those of you who haven't, the red piece of yarn is another big clue. Alright, so what ends up going on, we keep moving on. Mori ends up rocking up to the house with Sayama. We then find out about Sayama owning a used bookshop and that he sold a forgery to her. And they'll have a bit of an argument and yada yada yada. The good thing about this mystery was that all the alibis added up. So there was no real way for anyone to pull off this murder. But obviously there was. Right? The clues that will pretty much gave it away was the red yarn and two things that were said by the culprit. So the person behind it was Sayama Yotaro. Alright? At first, his alibi seems pretty much rock solid. He got off at the train station at a certain time, and it took about 45 minutes to get to the hospital. To get to the victim's place, and then get back to the hospital at the same time when he met Mori. So, and at that same time, he was on the phone for an extended period of time. So nothing really added up. But the things that really gave him away were two things. The first thing, when he walks into the house, he says it's a mess and that it stinks, that it smells. Right? That was the first thing. That was the first clue that was like, oh, okay, this is odd. Why did he say that? No one else has said that. Okay. And the second thing was when he first met Mori at the front of the hospital, he said, oh, the Myna bird with a little red piece of yarn on his leg. Oh, that's nice. He's kind of famous. Yada, yada, yada. Forgetting that shit, the victim actually put that red bit of yarn on that day. And there was no way for him to know that it was a red bit of yarn. If he said a red string or something along those lines, even then, it still would have been giving it away. So that basically placed him at the house. So what ended up happening was, basically while he was on the phone, he basically was walking from the station to her place. He came in via a side entrance where the victim actually let him in. She got him, even though he had an injured arm, she got him to move a flower pot from one spot to the back door. That's where that flower pot comes in, because originally at the start of the thing, we see that Yahagi Emi asked, do you want me to move this from the kitchen to the backyard? She said, no, you can do it later, while she's on the phone to Sayama Yotaro. Alright, so that's basically what he comes in, and the part where he says it smells, it stinks. That was the other thing that really gave it away, and where the basement and the wheelchair kind of come in. Because where the wheelchair was placed on its side, there was a door which led to the basement. And down in the basement was stuff being pickled. And when you pickle things, you got a brine and all that kind of stuff. And not exactly the nicest smelling things. So when Sayama made it there, she made him move the pot and go down, and I believe it was mix up the pickle, whatever the thing she was pickling. So as he's coming out, as we know he has this arm, she's next to the basement door, which was in the floor. He basically uses the door to his advantage to strangle her by pulling on her scarf. He grabs the scarf and then kind of pulls it down, and that's how he used leverage to strangle her and kill Kakuba Naoka. He then made his way to the hospital where he met Morty and everything, and then ended up coming back and yada yada yada. So overall, guys, this mystery was solid. It was a very solid, good filler episode. I liked that it was challenging to solve. It wasn't something like, 5 minutes, no clues, it was him or it was her. I liked the fact that it was challenging. It actually made you have to think. Little things that just you wouldn't really notice. Like, I noticed when he said red yarn. I'm like, okay, maybe this is something that 9 is known for having a little bit of red yarn on him to make him, if he ever escapes, because apparently he was known for escaping, make it a bit noticeable and easier to find. But then we heard, wait, no. She only put it on today. Right? How did he know about the red yarn? The other thing, when he says it stinks, it smells. At first, this wasn't really a giveaway because, from what we've heard, he has been to her place before a couple of times. But by saying it stinks, it smells, when nobody else has mentioned that, and only the Myna bird is the one that's mentioning it, that kind of solidifies what's going on. But anyway, guys, overall, the art and the animation was quite good. The voice acting was pretty solid. The mystery overall was a very solid and an intriguing one. It kind of kept me going, ooh, I don't really know. I didn't think it was the nephew. Just, he didn't really have enough motive. I thought maybe Yahagi, maybe the maid did. She killed her, bang, went off to do her thing, yada, 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 and then come back and like, oh my God. Not knowing that the victim's nephew was on his way over. And then at first, Sayama, I didn't really think much of him because I was like, injured arm, there's no way he could have done it. But then as the episode gone on and everything, and then we started to kind of started explaining things, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much only he who could have done that. So, yeah, overall, guys, for this episode, I'm going to give it 4 stars. It was a good, solid episode, and I really did enjoy that mystery. I thought it was solid, it was good, and all the clues did add up. But what I liked was the clues weren't so straightforward. You had to think about it. You had to kind of start piecing things together. Like, why are you showing us this flower pot? It showed us like 3 or 4 times. The wheelchair, the way it was positioned, where the basement was. Those little things like that. It was just like, why are you showing us this? There's got to be a reason behind it. And once you started unraveling it for us, it kind of came clear. And it kind of went, oh, that makes sense. I get it now. But anyway, guys, that is all for me. As always, if you enjoyed the video, smash that thumbs up. It will be greatly appreciated. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe button. It's completely and totally free. And we all like free shit. And as always, guys, I'm Freno1. You guys are awesome. And I'll catch you guys with another review. Peace.